Good morning, Morgan. And good morning to any of Morgan's friends that have joined us for this video today. And finally, we get to do something interesting, something that might actually, make sense. So, what we're going to do is we're going to read this little bit of verbiage. We're going to look at this example, and then we're going to run some code, and we're going to talk about it. Okay? So with that, let's start reading.
Python TV59. Scopes and namespaces example. This is an example demonstrating how to reference the different scopes and namespaces, and how global and non-local affect variable binding.
Blah, blah, blah. All right, I copied every bit of this into some code that we're going to run, and I actually added a little more to it. And this is the output we're going to see.
Note how the local assignment, which is default, didn't change scope_tests binding of spam. The non-local assignment changed scope_tests binding of spam, and the global assignment changed the module level binding. You can also see that there was no previous binding for spam before the global assignment.
Okay, enough of that nonsense. Let's go over and run some code and talk about this. All right? All right. Okay. Here's the code. I copied it in there, and then I wanted to add a few things. Okay? All right, so let's talk about hierarchy. All right, so this is all our definitions, right? But the actual code starts here. When we hit the start button, this is where the program starts, okay? And the first thing it does is it reads the scope test definition. Here it is. All right, now we're not at the top. Now we're on the floor underneath the main level. Okay, where the program codes. All right, now we're going to go down into the basement of the house. Okay, and here we are in the basement, and the basement has 3 rooms. Okay, so you've got the top level, the middle level, and then the 3 third levels. Okay, so what's it going to do? Okay, it's going to sit there. It's going to go, oh, let's execute scope. Whatever's in the scope, we pop out, and then we go print global scope, and then we print spam. Okay, spam, but we're not defining it here, right? So we go in here. All right. Now we're in the basement. Okay, we define what's going to be in the 3 rooms below the basement. Now we start actually doing stuff. We go, okay, we're going to put this test spam in here. Then we're going to execute whatever's in here. When we pop out, we're going to print this. Then we're going to execute this, pop out, go into the 3rd room, pop out. Okay. Well, when we go into the 1st room, we're going to change the value in spam, okay? And then we're going to print what's there. Then we're going to pop out, and then we're going to print it again. Then we'll go to the next room. Do you see how this goes? All right, with that said, let's go and execute this program. And boom, it ran. All right, with that, let's go take a look at the output. Okay, Princess, there's something I forgot before I can show you the output. And that's when we set the visibility of the spam variable. Okay? So here in the 1st room, local, we just go spam. Okay, so it's local to that room. Then when we go non-local spam, we're saying, okay, now we're going to look at the level above local. Okay, And then the other one that we can see everywhere is called global spam. Okay, so you can see global spam everywhere. Okay, the non-local you can only see when you're in the one room. Okay, and then the local spam is unique to when you're in each room. So you could actually have 3 different values of spam in here, right? All right. Now let's run this code, and we'll talk about it. Okay, here we are. We're in the program. All right. We start the program. The very first thing we do is we go into the basement of the house. Okay, and in the basement of the house are 3 rooms. Local room, non-local room, and the global room. Okay, so we go to the local room and we set the value of spam to local, and then we do the print, right? But before we went into the room, we set the spam value to test. Okay, but because we're local, we don't have visibility to the non-local one, which is the one that you can see from the whole basement room. So we pop out and we look at what's in spam. Sure enough, it still says test spam. Okay. Then we go into the next room, but this time when we set the value of spam, we're telling it, we've got that little word that says non-local first. So what we're saying is that, hey man, we're resetting the value of the spam that you can only see from in the basement to non-local. We pop out. Sure enough, now the value of spam is non-local spam. Okay. Then we go into the third room, and we set it globally. Okay. And we pop up, because it's only visible on the very top level, we can't see it. All we can see is the non-local one that's set for the basement room. Then we pop out to the top floor again. We do that last print. Oh, look, it says global. Now, just sit there and think about that, and you'll understand the 3 levels and how it works a lot better than all that text that we read, because I have to see it to understand how it works. All right, and just keep rereading it, or better yet, you can email me and I'll send you the code, and you can run it yourself, and then you can play with it by adding in some prints, and change it around. That might be a good thing for you to do. Anyway, for Morgan's friends, you're welcome to do this too. In fact, I'm including information in the description of this video. There's an email there, and there's a Discord server that if you want to set up an office visit, a virtual office visit, we can do that too. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.